Welcome to the Fat Cats Rugby podcast, bringing you candid rugby conversations, great interviews and insights into Ugandan rugby, and a touch of rugby in Africa and the world over. Fat Cats Rugby podcast is a product of Fat Cats Media brand for all your audio-visual content needs and equipment hire. Hope you enjoy this episode.
Welcome to an episode of the Fat Cats Rugby podcast. In a week where Cobs has announced they celebrate 60. In a week where Warriors have been given a second chance against Elgon Wolves. In a week where we have a public holiday weekend, starting with a Friday.
Already.
Yeah. As you can see, I'm in short shorts, but rugby must be discussed today. Ruben, back from the weekend.
Yeah.
Rugby Nile and party. Rugby and Nile party. Was it the other way around?
Whatever way.
It was hot.
It was a good one. Of course, for us in the VIP.
Yeah.
Yeah, proper setup. I think the rugby chill just keeps outdoing themselves and really challenging other rugby grounds.
Yes.
On how to properly celebrate. And we have on this podcast constantly talked about, besides the actual game of rugby, how are we enticing a lot more people to be part of the lifestyle that is rugby? And I think this is one of those things. It's really, really great what they did, this changing the stage and now putting it down. Usually, we are so used to stages being up.
Yeah.
People are down. But now the stage being down, Vanessa and the band, awesome. Fampino, awesome. Lydia Jasmine, but it was a good one.
I enjoyed the performance. But now,
I was waiting for that
performances aside, we have two guys from Warriors on the podcast today, and we have two guys from Cobs today. They go Cobs, and then we can argue we have four guys from Namilyango on the podcast today. Namilyango PROA.
They already told us how biased we are. We over bring Ngo guests. Now we have done it again.
There was a screenshot we're going to give the producer to show. The screenshot where Namilyango PR suffered before the Ngo League. So we're now trying to clean our PR. So we have two guests today. They are both coaches for Namilyango. I'll just say their names and then they'll tell us what they do and why they are here to discuss rugby, obviously, but they have stories to tell us. On my immediate left, we have Emmanuel Walakira, the man who I got to know as George Gregan, the Australian number 9. That's the first time. The first time I ever saw Walakira, this is a story we're going to tell, was 2005 British High Commission Sevens, 2005. That's how old he is. And then on my far left, we have Ambrose Kakuru, a.k.a. Payo. Yeah. Why are you called Payo, by the way?
I was about to say something. I'm eager to find out why.
Why are you called Payo?
Thanks, Edwin Ruben, for having us. Of course, once we are in the room, we are going to discuss rugby and have some fun. Why Payo? Payo is spelled P-I-O, though yes. Along the way, girls started calling it Payo, P-A-Y-O. So I have suffered.
Yeah.
But if you have been to Namilyango College, there is a famous statue called the Pioneer.
Yes.
It's, so when we arrived in college, in S1, we had this, you have to animate the mass. S1. So during the mass, I carried the Bible.
Yes.
Like the Pioneer carries
the
Bible. And everyone said, so someone made the comment that the Pioneer is walking. So everyone nicknamed me Pioneer. So the nickname was Pioneer.
Yes.
But about 4 weeks in, we go to Namagunga for I think it was some church function. I think I was in choir. So when we went there, the girls knew what Pioneer meant.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, the Ngonians had not made research. So every time they would call me Pioneer, the girls would come to know what I pioneered, what I was the first to do.
Yes.
So I was attracting all the girls
Hey.
just by calling my name. So once you call my name, Pioneer, all the girls come, hey, what did you pioneer? So the guys were like, no, we can't give you these props.
Yes.
So they're like, we're going to shorten it to Payo.
Payo,
which means nothing, like nobody
Nothing.
will know. So it was reduced just to Payo from Pioneer. But
Wow.
originally it was called, I was Pioneer
Yes.
for about 3 weeks, then went to Payo. And it has stuck. I'm even planning on registering it as part of my
Your names.
because it's how I'm known most for now.
Wow.
He
Epic
said he
epic
was
story.
in the choir. I wonder if it was in soprano or
You know, when you join in S1,
Yeah.
your voices
Your voices are still new.
fresh.
Still virgin.
They give you bananas.
Hey,
But now, over the years, shouting on the touchline, really,
yeah.
I don't even know if I'm in any category now. I think the voices have gone. But I think I was tenor, then moved on to bass.
To bass. Me as a soprano guy in the college choir, I used to sit at the front till I missed the one training session, and then I was bounced from the choir. Auntie because of rugby, so I had to be bounced. Emwalk, as you usually call yourself.
It is not usually calling myself Emwalk.
Eh.
I actually took time to come up with
Eh.
the name.
Okay.
Yeah. If you look at Emwalk, there's EM, then
Yes.
walk. The EM stands for Emmanuel.
Yes.
Then the walk thing is just in between there for Walakira.
Yes.
So it is the creativity around there. So you can also get yours.
Mine is Web. I say Web.
this one has so many.
Mine is Web, Nigovic. There are very, very many names.
At some time we had Busu King, something like that.
Don't open all
What is
doors.
being cut on? What is being cut on? This one now cutting one. Walakira, I want you to. My first moment I ever got to see you on the rugby field was 2005.
To correct you, I think it was 2004. Was
No.
the bit shy commissioner.
Mm,
Cup
That's
was-
have been 2005.
5, as in
For
S1.
him.
As in S1. Yeah, 2005.
You played many.
You played
Yeah,
many.
it is-
eh.
it is okay.
He's
It is
continuing
Actually,
okay.
that was the
Tell you
last
how
year.
old
That was
he
the
is.
last year we ever had it.
Not to go to the venue.
So that's the first time I saw Walakira, having him on the field. And then there is this Marcos guy who's trying to score a try. And Walakira carries the guy. And he puts him down, turnover. What happened after?
Actually, I don't remember the moment
Eh.
after the tackle.
Yes.
I think that is how I started my concussion rates.
Hey, your concussion started from there.
Because the only thing I remember after the tackle is guys coming from up, raining onto the pitch that we have won.
Led by yours truly.
So I just saw guys coming and they were carrying, I think, Barasa and Wakabi.
Yes.
I get the feeling the way fans forget about the moment that has caused the other one. Then they remember that they had to carry me because of that tackle, because it was a sudden death, and actually the guys were doing PDs, and I found myself in front of a very huge, tall guy. So he was trying to put the ball down, to touch the ball down, and I put my body on the line. I carried the guy. I also can't imagine that I carried the guy 5 meters back in that struggle. So I carried the guy back, forced a turnover, and the ball went out. That is, then after I didn't know what was going on.
The rest is history.
Yes, but we won the game, and yeah, that was the beginning of the name.
But from me, the fans' perspective of that game, since you were still young, he made the tackle look like he had carried a big guy,
Yes.
drove him back 5 meters, the turnover, the ball was kicked. Then Wakabi Sailor comes running past everybody, misses the ball, then the lucky bounce ends up in Barasa and lose hands. And you as a fan, you need to know that Sailor was the first.
Yes.
Andrew was like a real trailer.
Yeah.
So you would see each step he makes to the try line.
Yes.
Like as if he's not reaching.
Like it's not reaching.
So once he touched down and he don't know that we had won,
Yes.
we ran to the pitch. First of all, the guy who was scored, man. You cannot celebrate with the guy
Hey,
at the
the
fight.
guy who made it. Hey, that's your job.
It was until when you have carried back, you're, hey, by the way,
The guy is the one who saved us.
So we remembered him after, but it was really,
Yes,
I think
because
in our history, it was
the whole
nice.
pitch was a limbo.
Hey.
Everyone was silent.
So Ruben, now you know in Namiriango there are two sayings. In Namiriango we share, and in Namiriango we tackle. So you don't allow any guy to pass. Marcos, Hilton High, Smack, whatever. You must push the guy in his position. So nice introduction there. Maybe I'll just add is that these two will go into the discussion, but these two are schools rugby champions, and these two are not. me, I won a sevens trophy. I don't know about you. Oh, you are part of our team that won.
But maybe you contributed.
Which sevens trophy, by the way, did you win?
Coca-Cola Sevens in 2010, we won.
You only won the home circuit.
It was a trophy. I'm going to show you the picture.
You're making it seem like you won the entire series.
No, Smack fluked here, but we won a circuit. And it was a headline trophy, or headline circuit called Coca-Cola.
They even won silver in East African Games, I think.
Actually, East Africa Games
silver,
won bronze.
They have a lot of silver.
Actually, we won bronze.
Cup.
We finished third. We lost 2 games in Nakuru. That's so bad. That time for silverware is very, 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 very bad. But anyway, before we get into the critical discussion, we need to pay some bills here. My producer today has said that I am just going to keep quiet. You usually know what time it is, where we are. So we put out a Fred and Winnie B&B challenge, TikTok challenge. Drop a video with your best imitation of the ad that we usually put out here. Keywords: 10 bedrooms, self-contained, 2 kitchens, chef, Wi-Fi, power backup, pick up from the airport, and the contacts are below. So that's the skeleton. I want you to put flesh on the body. So do share your videos. There are some rugby events coming up. We may give out a few tickets or 2 for those who have been generous, or you may even be afforded a stay at the B&B. But please drop your TikTok videos, and then we see where we can go from there.
Now, let's come in town. Come to
Fred and Winnie
B&B.
Yeah, located
In Natsasi.
We have a choice of
Deluxe rooms, doubles, six
deluxe tropical fruits.
Pick up the airport. This come from out.
Can be arranged
Can be arranged.
if booked in advance.
Yes. By the way, even those within the country, for your honeymoon, come.
Tell them
The ambience.
a fat cat sent you.
There's a standby chef in the house.
Now, to our guests, before even we lose light, let me go to the key issue. Namiliango College is here. Failed to get out of the group stages. Many people asked for your head. Who are seeing you in videos. Teacher, then when I final, you went viral, right?
That chant, whatever it was.
Yes.
And then we lost that smack. The guys after winning, they did this.
They trolled us.
That smack is very disrespectful.
And then they came and also fluked a game at Namiliango.
Is this the first time that Namiliango has ever not gone out of the group? I don't know.
Isabel is going to confirm for us, but I do believe it's been quite forever since we always get out of the group.
We never think about it.
We always think about the final. Actually, when you're in school, you're like, when am I? Who are we going to play in the final? Then you know, like when it reaches time for semis, you know whose bag to carry, which training to attend.
It's so ironic how in Namiliango, even a semi-final, man, they look at you here like it was a disappointment.
Yeah. How can you lose a semi-final?
So, gentlemen, your heads were asked for. We had to explain. Tell us, describe that season for us.
But Edwin, you forgot to say that I coached both of you.
Hey.
Sometimes, so you're still lots of my products.
Yes.
One this season. Honestly, did we see it coming not to go out of the group? I would say no. You know, our standards are very high. But along the way things come in and go, and you know, making the necessary adjustments, we really thought we were good enough to get out of the group. We lived it late, and I think our luck ran out. Every time I close my eyes, I see the smart kicker kicking in the last seconds of the game, and I'm like, wow. Like, like how we just say, wow, like we had done everything right.
Yeah.
We had made the comeback. We had led for the right seconds. The penalty was very far. The angle was difficult. He was not the number one kicker. Everything was in a... But it seems for the Kaipas that day was not, around.
He had gone to Kinda.
He had gone to Kinda. So we narrowly missed making the semis. But I think, for me, I look at it as the first in many years of consistency. And of course, we had to correct that when we went to nationals, and we had to make sure we went all the way to the final, and still a last-minute kick also did us bad. So we have just had challenges with the last-minute kicks. Two, our team has been disintegrated over the time.
Yes.
So most of the boys who are playing were really just learning. The guys who depend on our superstars were not promoted to Senior 6, East African winning team. So some even went on to captain Marcos. So and those were our stars. So
the way you call Marcos
Namiriango.
Marcos guys hate that thing.
But it's I'll tell them it's the truth.
It's
they
the truth.
They just changed the name.
Yes.
Because I went to nationals and I was even shocked. 80% of the team are the guys I was supposed to have this side.
Yes.
So I find them the other side. I have nothing to do.
Yeah.
So, but really, the team not getting out of the group. I don't know where to put the blame.
Yes.
But we did all we had to do. Even used the younger players to play for the under 20. Then we realized that they are not supposed to be there, and we had to drop them. So the team not going out of the group, it really went into our minds deep, because I think I spent like 2 weeks to recover. That smack loss from that smack in Namiriango. I'd never seen it coming at all. Because I looked at the thing and they were saying last play. Then I'm like, guys, just hold the thing. Then I say, guy, tackle. This one is trying to do a turnover. I just saw the hand. I said, Chiwede. Though we did not expect the guy to put in the kick, but I was like, Chiwede. Because it is Chiwede on the other side and Chiwede this side.
Yes.
If the guy misses, we are through. If the guy puts it in, and they go to the car. Guy kicked us behind him. Even before it crossed, it was trouble.
Ruben, we were in our WhatsApp group and we were receiving notifications from Dexter. And there's a point where Dexter was not updating. I was like, Dexter, do you need data? Like, what's up? The thing was, then you come, then sometimes you do the math wrongly. I don't know what he was drinking. Rukambwe, I think in Namirianga was this change. So then he updates the scores. Then I see, was it the match ended 23-24, right?
25.
We'll check. But
It was a
but then you see, then after that you just see, boom,
23-21.
says game over. Smack wins with the last minute penalty, and I'm like, how to survive? How to survive?
We usually go have a beer set after the game. You guys had to beer. It was neither cold.
But what surprises me is that people first forget that before we are coaches, we are Angonians. So the way you hurting is the way we be hurting, and yet we are the ones going to be asked the questions.
And sometimes it hurts more on my side.
I can imagine now with the pressure we be feeling. Now you guys on top of the coaching pressure, and then being an old boy.
And then on top of that, you have to explain.
You guys are even saying an old boy. You're saying
the hashtag.
I even imagine. Because I told guys,
I know him, and I have planned.
I lost to Smack once.
Yes.
Remember the game in Smack where they even wanted to cane us?
Yeah.
That game.
Yes.
And I vowed to myself never to lose to Smack.
Yes.
All my playing time, there was no time for me to lose to Smack. And it happened. So I come tell boys, guys, you cannot lose to Smack. That's never happened. We go to Smack the first day. They beat us.
Mm.
It's like, now where do I pull the notes? to give to these guys. Just start to beef up the guys with words. The guys played. Still, that car kick, took. We are out. They come to Namiriango, same thing. Because I think I stayed in Nigeria for a month.
Yeah.
Because guys, let me tell you, I have one problem when it comes to Namiriango.
Yes.
I have my big brother.
Oh.
I have to answer each and every question.
Makumbi.
Makumbi, yes.
Yes. What is going on? What is not going right? Like you have to tick all the boxes.
Yes.
So when I want to like have a peace of mind away from Namiriango rugby, plus even the Cobs part of it,
Yes.
I have to like distance myself from him. But sometimes you have the answers, but in those answers it creates more questions. So sometimes you like hunt my head off.
And even he doesn't want to listen. He's annoyed.
The fans don't want to
Whether you explain,
I spent a month in Nigeria just to cool down.
And from that, I will also ask another question. Now, in light of that, now let's go 10 years back or steps behind. You said you coached us in Namiriango and whatever, but many of us don't know how you started this coaching thing. Were you idle? Did you see there was a chance to get your school fees back from Namiriango? You're like, now I can get money from Mr. Muguruma. Now let me come back and coach.
Okay, let me say it for the record.
Yeah.
For the 14 years I have coached Namiriango, they have never paid me a single coin.
Yes.
They will give allowance and tokens, but I've never gotten a salary. I've never been paid.
Yeah.
I chose to do it as a corporate social responsibility and give back. So for the long time, I've been there for 14 years. I've never collected a paycheck or money. I've never done this for money. But one thing happened to me when I was, my life journey through rugby was that when I joined Namiriango, I had strict instructions not to play rugby. So I avoided rugby all my whole life. I never played. When I go home for vacation, as I'm walking around the village, I learn on this small guy's pitch. You know, this small guy's pitch, they're playing touch. And in school, I was a touch master.
This guy was a touch master. He would give us
I would do anything.
The dream team used to play a lot of touch. We used to play with them even sometimes.
Even Businja would come and join us at the pitch. We would play touch. Now, among us, they are training for game day. It was touch, and I was the best touch player. So by default, your name makes the team sheet. And I'm like, you people, I don't even have to tackle. I am scared. I started avoiding the pitch. I actually played my first game for Mongas before playing for college. Now, of course, you come back to college, you have played for Mongas, you know, confidence is how you play for college. So when I finished A6 in 2008, my career skyrocketed. And for me, my personal belief is there's no success without a successor. Walakira, when he was leaving, because I'm a year below Walakira,
Yes.
he came, he was the captain, he came and made sure we could win. We could win the league when they leave. Now, our year didn't do much to make sure the next year wins, the Kenos. But remember, the Kenos were like much stronger than us, so we couldn't do anything.
You guys, you want to set yourselves up.
So now, when I'm in vacation, I'm at home, I become under 19 captain. So somehow, I am playing with Chimono, I am playing with people who I'm looking up to, they're my friends. So I'm like, oh, let me come and check on Chimono in school. Let me come and find out. Now, coincidentally, at that same time, our coach, Fredo Modola, had been suspended for, I think, some brawl with the referees during his club games. Now, he was serving a touchline ban, but not a coaching ban. So he could coach during the week, but he couldn't be on the touchline on game day. So now, when we come for the matches, he would need somebody to take the message to the pitch. So the only person he knew who was around and young and because remember on the touchline there was Victor. Victor was the coach. Yeah. So for him he was in the background. So the only person who would, and back then there were no cell phones like you have now. So you literally because
you had to read from a piece of paper.
All you have to go and he tells it to you direct. Then you come verbatim. And now, back then, you had to communicate it the way Fredo does it. And Fredo was vicious, his voice was, commanding. And here is like a young Vakist, coming to a team. So you go, and now you would sit that side near Dawoodi's. Like I remember there was a game we were playing at Legends, you would sit like towards Dawoodi and then look. Then you would know that he's now calling you. Then you walk. Then you go. Then he gives you instructions like, tell Ruben to run like this, Then now you come back. Ruben, So slowly by slowly, that's how I started getting into coaching. But I never said anything that belonged to me for about 2 years. Because I don't think I coached the team. I was part of the team, but all the instructions were just coming from Fred.
So you were a messenger.
I was a messenger. Okay, that's the best. Yes, I was a coach messenger. But then eventually, I think the ban got done. Fred's ban got done towards 2011, and there was a transition. So because I was around, I kept coming, and boys started looking at me as a coach. So I remained there, but now I was playing actively rugby, so I couldn't.
And I think that is when they started the age grade thing. Yes. So he had to do the age grade as Fredo deals with the other guys.
Yeah. So now, as we're doing the age grade, I'm playing actively. There are now 3 teams. Fredo is dealing with the main team. And remember, change, he doesn't know anything about the junior team. He's concentrating about it. Yeah. So I started with the juniors all through 2012. Now, 2012, I am actively playing. I become busy. Now, Fredo becomes busy because now he's coaching me at the club.
He's coaching you at club.
So now we can't be available. Now, that's how we started out. Now, Walakira comes in on the request of Bizimana. Walakira had gotten too many concussions, so he couldn't play.
No, it was
a medical reason.
Medical reasons.
So you come and help out as Payo plays. So Walakira comes into coach. Now, as he comes into coach in 2012,
I did 2012. 2011 as around, but just being around. Like with kids, you guide the scrum halves here, there, and you talk to a few guys. But then because I was around, and I was staying in Mokono, so Mr. Valens tells me, but why don't you come and take up the team? So I was like, okay. And then I had to see Cobbs and this guy's here. Then my concussions. I'm like, actually, Dr. Stone told me, boss, I don't think you can play rugby anymore. And I had to listen, but before I had a big head. Because I think in total I have like 7 concussions.
Bro. Bro, you are just closing that.
There's one in training.
And by the way, no. Most of them were in training. Yeah. That is the bad thing.
Every time you tackle everyone.
Super Tuesday.
That is why, this one I won't say. There is a certain coach. He's coaching any team I cannot. Yeah.
Okay.
Because that is the time. That is the time.
I know.
The structure of the training made me. Actually, the structure of the training threw me out. Threw me out of rugby.
All the other coaches can't get you.
I remember those days of one-on-one.
The pads.
Funny thing is,
those concussions were serious.
Because before I went to Warriors, in my S4 VAC, I would go for box training. But those trainings, punching bag.
You guys,
senior team now. Oh
you guys found the 23rd grade. I started box training, playing for box. I think it was my senior too. Because when you're a punching bag of Fred Mudola, Simon Tendo, Victor Wadia.
Smash.
Like
in their prime,
cream de la cream of the national team.
Yes. Their prime.
Remember that time?
Their prime.
You're like, you young guys, you're supposed to tackle. Like, boss, I cannot come here from Fredo. Then you're telling me Simon Tendo on the other side.
Yes.
It was no
just a little bit too much.
But still, I managed. I even made their team. You remember there were those Chairman's Cup at Legends?
Yes.
I made their team. They had to face my fellow coach now, Makalaba. I went for one tackle, the guy slept on me. I was like,
you're like, I'm done.
It is done. It is done.
So me and Walakira, I think, joined coaching together in 2012.
Me, it is 2012. like the league, I think. The league.
Yeah.
2012.
And that's when we won the clean sweep, I think.
I think, yeah.
And how has it been coaching together, considering older 2008, then 2007? How has it been like?
Oh, I think it is not that much different from, because we have the same ideologies. I think since we have been close in the playing times, so he knows what I went through. I know what he went through. So if we combine them, then the other thing, some player of mine called me adamant, but I am not. I am not. I changed. So we listen to each other. So we share, and we are willing to learn. We are willing to learn since rugby has moved from our bang times. So you find guys here, you need to give them skills. So most of the times when we are together, we sit and chat.
Haven't you ever had a time where you have not agreed on something? Wise.
Those times are there, I think. Those times are there, though sometimes they might be silent. like you guy, where are you pushing me? I don't think we can go. But sometimes you have to adjust. You're like, let me let it go. If it backfires, then I can attack it. But sometimes you look at it and say, actually, I'm supposed to improve on it. Then it goes like that. Coaching rugby, I think, let this one go to everyone. Coaching rugby, it's not a one-man job. It can't be. It can't be. Seriously, you need to coach a team. Let me say a team like Cobs. I think you need like 8 coaches. Minimum 8 coaches. Because you have to deal with set pieces, defense, skills, fitness. Like one guy cannot do all that. Then he sits at the end of the day and says, I'm doing a great job.
But also one thing they don't get, I'm a forward. I have played number 4. I'm a lock. The team has backs. What the hell am I going to tell backs? You understand? And yet, surprisingly, I coach the backs better than he coaches the forwards more than I do. Yes, because he comes for him with backs. You know, backs have some strict code, how you do, and he gives it to the forwards. And the forwards like it. Now for me, I come as a forward, tell the backs, you see, you just position like this, you will catch the ball. And you see, they start catching the ball, I start saying, hey, like for example, you ask any kicker who has been training at Milango, will tell you I'm the best kicking coach they have. When I catch you, you kick and the ball will enter. But I have never kicked a single ball, neither will I try even to kick it. Our superstar who made us miss the
this guy. But you see, when I tell you, we are so close like this. We are so close like this. He knows what I went through.
You know, these guys, they can't so play just to play for us. Independence Cup as it was handing over. So we beat our team, but then we tie and we go last play. We score the try at the corner.
Yes.
And now we are losing. Yeah, the conversion to win.
Yes.
You need like 1 point.
So now, Sabazia, all of us gather, Kajina, all of them.
These guys have always been
the best
cowards.
decision is to give the ball to the guy leaving. So that if he misses, we can give it on him.
All of you gathered. And
I was not there.
For him, he was not there.
all your collective brain, so you give it to Walakira.
This is a senior man, he's the captain, already captain. Let's give the ball to the most experienced person. So we come. Walakira, you kick. You know you're the most experienced person, you can put it in. Don't mind, there's no problem if you don't miss. It's okay.
How they train me.
We convinced him and he also agreed. Not knowing the repercussions. For now, up to now, for life he has been the guy that missed the kick. But truly, we really sat down and said,
I understand. Even me, the first time S5, when we went to Smack, we were playing, I think, we played about which team? Then we managed to score our first try. It was me, Maso, Aredo, we're playing on Tigons, S5. So what happens? We get a conversion. I kick the ball out. Like real in front of the post like this. Real. Our first try for Tigons in Smack. We're all happy to win the game. We lost the game. We lost the game by 1 point because of that madness. Yeah, but I understand. So, Ruben, we talked about ideology of playing. Me, I remember the Namiango ideology, when they would kick the ball to the fullback would not do what?
Kick back.
Not kick back. He would first cook and then attack. There was Katsok, may God rest his soul, Masebe, there was OJ, there was Mavo,
Even Red.
all those guys, even Red. Red would kick once in a while, but most of the guys would just. And we notice now the ideology is changing. The few games we have watched, can we attribute it to this gentleman here, or modern rugby dictates that a fullback just can't enter contact?
I think it's situational, but like they have said, also rugby is evolving.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I think not sometimes, most times, you have to look in front of you, and you see the smarter option. Those days of man, you have to sidestep like 13 guys before you do something. It's quite unrealistic with the defenses today, which are a lot more organized, a lot more controlled by the coaches, and especially when people are studying even oppositions these days. So they look at your team and they know how to defend you and how to break you down. So if you are to just go the hard route of getting the ball and then running back in, I mean, it becomes a bit complicated. Sometimes it can work out, but if you get yourself in an isolated situation and you're stopped and your players are not there to really support you, then you've cost the team. So why not go for the smarter option?
Maybe what across the days, back in our days, what you would see is that you are not given a skill set to help you in certain situations. So if you are in a certain situation and it needs to, let's say, pass, you couldn't pass. So for you say, man, what am I good at? Carry the ball, let me carry the ball. Or if you are in a certain situation and you had to kick, and remember you don't have the skill of kicking, normally you would kick the ball out. So immediately everyone is going to be up in your face. Why are you kicking? So right now, it's not an ideology as such. Right now, what we do, we equip the player with the skills so that if the situation comes that requires that skill, you can execute it. Because normally, you may find a team has the fullback has a good boot. And now the rules have changed. There's a 50-22 option. Yeah. So you start saying this boot can really get us territory and possession back without the hassle of sidestepping everyone. But then there's when you get a talented boy who can actually, even under pressure, will swerve his way through, and you can't tell him now, kick and chase. For him, he doesn't believe in that. Even if you try to drill it into him, he will not. So the best way is we adapt. So according to the players that you have, because even if you watched our nationals, we never kicked the ball back. And yet the entire league, we kicked the ball back. But because of nationals, we had to adapt to different scenarios and also the strength of the opposition. Sometimes it was just giving away the ball and we couldn't get it back. So you're like, you know what, let's keep the ball, let's give it back. So it depends also on, the strategy of the game and how you've seen the opponents play. Because some teams now, if they have the ball, they are dangerous. If they don't have the ball, you are in charge. Even if you're in the 5 and you have the ball, they can't do much. They will not take it away from you. But if they have the ball in their 5, they can easily score. So you need also to know what you're trying to achieve. But always, don't limit young boys. Just give them the skills that if they need, and they can make the decision themselves. So if they need to kick, they will kick. If they have to run, they need to run. But if you tell someone don't kick, when he will need to kick, he will not.
And I think back in the days, we were watching rugby on TV, and there was nothing like kicking the ball to the other guys, carry the ball. The thing of kicking was cheap. Grabber there. It's not. These are the things that race for Tukiri. Because I remember Australia used to do that thing. They reach your 22, into the try area. This guy just comes and down. Yeah. But now you have to kick. Sometimes you have to kick the ball deep.
So just like guys were bored by the 2007 final when SA was just kicking. They were like, which rugby is this? We're not used to this thing.
There are times you watch rugby on TV and say, are we watching rugby? Or until the guy just kicks the ball out. Like, let's rest. Ball comes from this side.
But you want to be a forward in the middle there. When
running, get the back knocks out. Payo, you talked about, you had an interview with your fellow Dream Team member, Deus, and you discussed how you gave your CV how you and Walakira have an illustrious CV of having very many talents that have been brought out of high school. You mentioned, is it Munyani? You mentioned Magom, you mentioned Masa, you mentioned Kakura, you mentioned all these guys, Ivan, even you have mentioned me and him, though we're not talents.
And you are in your prime.
In your prime. So maybe how is the transition now that you hand them over to club? Do you keep in touch? Do you mentor them, or you hand them over and you're like, this guy is your problem now? He never used to pass for me, now let him not pass for you.
For Emma, once he hands you over, he will just keep tabs on you. That is his business. For me, my philosophy changed. When I just started, I used to do my job, and that's it. But then along the way, I realized that coaching is like a lifetime job. You have to have someone's back throughout their life. So before I would coach and, just chill. Man, I've done my job. Ruben can kick. He has been identified. He will handle. I think I've done my job. But then, along the way, I realized people need help, even when they get to the big stage. Now, case in point, I'll give this case in point. It's transformed my life. Ivan Magom is my friend. Minus our rivalries and his club, we never mix those. One time, he was going to make his debut for Uganda. Back then, I think the game was at Legends. So, I'm texting him saying, hey, Magom, Kongs, man, you're going to make the team. Congratulations. So he's like, I need you to come and watch the game. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be there in the Kayola shouting, don't worry. He's like, I need you in the VIP, and he must be at the front, next to the what? Next to the barricade. Like, Magom, yeah, I wanted to be with my boys. I'm going to cheer you. He's like, no, I need you, and you need to be at the front of the bike. I'm like, okay. I'll come and say, hey. So I go, I look for a 50K. I
VIP ticket.
And then I go at the front of the bike. So we play, I don't remember the game, Zimbabwe or what, but it was at Legends. So they play, half time, the score was close. He comes, like as the team is going to the tunnel, he walks up to me and he says, Payo, what am I supposed to do? Like, tell me your scene, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm like, wait. So, yes, your coach, like, the coaches are there, you go and listen. He's like, no, you have seen, tell me what am I supposed to do, like. So I started now make sure you play in the right places, There are times you're supposed to kick, you're not kicking. Oh, he's like, okay, I was thinking, but I thought I was wrong. Then he runs into the tunnel. And then, after the game, I think we won. I don't remember the score very well. He comes back to say, thank you, Payo. Thank you. If you were not here, I don't know what I would have done, because I was not getting out of my head. So it dawned on me that just handing them over may not be enough, but sometimes they need to be boosted. And now, I don't need to be there, because now he has matured. You see, now he will just give you a call after the game and say, oh, I had a very nice game against Cobbs. I had a game, these things came through. So I realized that when you're a coach, you have to keep tabs on your players throughout. That's why you see I've coached Master in London College. I've gone back to Napilango, but we still keep tabs together. So you need to keep tabs even when they go beyond your hands, because they really need to be guided, to be reminded. Some of the few players who give up, I call them and I'm like, Edwin, what's happening? I thought you were going to play, can you come back? And then you will see the guy saying next season I'm going to come back. So you realize that just the hope of knowing that Coach Payo has called me keeps them playing. So you have to, we hand them over, but then you just keep the tabs. Now that we have them in various clubs now, so you can imagine you have to keep Otai happy with the MPs. Then, Gizamba is calling you from Kenya under 20. You still have Karim who's in Stellenbosch. So you still have to, because now, like, if you look at the loss we got to Germany, I remember I lost that serious loss, the one we cried, all of us. The one, that one. I cried, and the only person who comforted me was Ian Manyan, who had just lost. And he really saw that I was distraught, saying, this is enough. And he was now telling me, relax, man.
Easy.
And it's like at 2 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, I remember.
And I'm like, if I'm the one dying like this, and I wasn't on the pitch, I'm supposed to be like giving you energy. Like, but I know what you're going through. Because when we have, finally, like, put our heads down for you in your room, I'm sure you're just saying, hell. So, I do try to go the extra mile to transition them until they are able to do it on their own.
Which players do you keep in touch with?
I have a few of them. A few of them.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll just tell you guys. Guys, those boys like this man. They like me. Because when it's supposed to be training time and they have an issue they have to sort that will involve feelings, then I have no feelings. They will send me there.
Heartless.
Yes, I am heartless. That is what they say. So they find me. They call me. They had it. Yes. Someone used adamant, but it's okay.
Yeah.
They say I'm the hardest guy. I don't care. Things have to go the way they are supposed to go. But trust me, always, even in the family, there is that one person, that one person who has to take the blame. So, but right now, I'm trying.
He's trying.
Yes. Before we could not take contacts of these boys. Now I take each and every detail. I have now data. Even the next of kin, number, the location of the home. Sometimes you bring guys
This
to
is so.
but let's not go into that direction.
But he also did it.
That's the time, man. They owned us, but this guy is exposed. We're this one, so we are.
So right now, even when you like call kids, sometimes when I used to drive, you call kids for the box training, then you're like, guys, the training has ended at around 8. Then you have to drive them to the gate.
Yeah.
They say, how have you come back? Come back with a coach. So such things, have started going that direction. But seriously, I have no one who can even text me that.
But surprisingly, when we started out, he was Mr. Nice guy. Everyone liked him. And for me, nobody even would want to sit in my circle. Like where I am.
I think the problem came in when I went for the level 1. I started becoming serious. I started becoming serious after level 1. Like I have to do this. I have to do this.
So before it was him, he was Mr. Good Guy. I was bad. Nobody would want even to have a conversation with Biggie Pie. Remember, I was huge. But then tables flipped on the guy. Now he's begging to be a good guy. But
I'm still hard. I'm still hard. For the guys who are out there, I'm still hard.
I think the one thing I noticed about that article, many people know you for Namiriango. But I was curious to find out, what is rugby like in St. Lawrence? I don't know if it was particularly London College where you were. You've talked about
London
how
College.
you were there with Massa, who was playing as a 10 at the time.
He was
I don't
not
know
a
if you
10.
can
He
imagine
was not a
that,
10.
but
He
yes.
wasn't a 10 at
He
the
wasn't
time,
a
but
10.
was.
He
he was a 10
was
from Budo. He came as a 10.
He came as a 10.
then he was playing
But
scrum
he
half.
was not a 10 as a 10.
How was rugby in St. Lawrence? Because the one memory I have of St. Lawrence is when we went for sevens. And for us who are still there struggling, trying to reach the finals, London College it was Crimland. Crimland was removed, like, I think in the groups.
Yeah.
Then for some reason they had a dance later on. Now their girls came all dressed up to pick them a hero's welcome. Yet they stopped in the group. For us, we are there still fighting. Even that's what this is. I have never really wished that Namiriango had girls like that day. Because I'm like, man, for us, we are going to go back. I remember that thing ended in a coin toss. That smack one. And we went back in our bus with a few guys crying. And then you're like, man, these guys are going to have a dunk. For us, we are going back crying. Busy man is saying we are not going to stop
at Satan.
So if I go there, it will just reminded me the coin toss. Right now, me and him have an agreement that if the game reaches coin toss, for us, we just got the last. Don't bother ourselves.
There's no way. You remember was it the Cubs game?
Yes,
when the coin just landed in the mud like that. Yeah, I was already in the dressing room.
And by the way, if you look here, if you saw how a children was looking there, it was like a sure that he knew. In fact, they were saying, how do you say the Daniel? I don't you have like that? Coin tosses. Those for me, those are the worst. Now in London College, by those guys want to be London College. we when we coached Namiliango 2012, 2013, I think.
Which was it?
The Magoms were
The Magoms.
When they were in senior six, Bizimana writes to Cobbs, telling them Bizimana wanted us to be officially appointed by Cobbs, me and Walakira, because he felt we were doing it out of being old boys, and Cobbs was not. So when Cobbs sends, they send Ronnie Takome as the person that they recommend. So, of course, if you've trained with Ronnie is like, he has to be in charge. It's called him. So there has no space for us. And for us, while now we had trained the Wanyamas, Nathan, and they had all gone to London College.
Yes.
So in the holiday, we were there saying, now if Ronnie has come, what are we going to do?
We are going to be just chillers.
Wanyama
Chill
comes
around.
and tells,
Probably would have started a podcast.
Actually, the coaching thing would have died from there.
now Wanyama, I think it was Nathan. comes
Nathan
and tells-
approached me and asked me if I could go to London College and coach them. So I think I went there. The first day I entered the school, I was like, is it really me? Yeah. I was like, Then they tell me, you first go to the staff room. They have a very tiny staff room like this. But to go there, like, these guys who invited me were in the classroom low here. It's like, I went to the staff room. I introduced myself. I said they called me here. I'm supposed to train rugby. And the teacher I talked to was very happy. He was like, hey, you've come. They're just down there. I'm like, what?
Yes.
This is not a rugby playing school.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? So I get the guys, they get out of the class. Actually, they went out of class before class ended. They went to their dormitories, changed, came to the pitch. I was like, who do I have here? What do you play? What do you play? Like, they introduced themselves. I'm like, the first thing I do is give you a game, play, and I watch. So they play, and like, I'll need so and so, so and so, so and so. Like, after the training, now the syndrome of this guy comes in, the girls.
They come to watch this guy.
They come to watch the guys. After you close like this, like, the coach. I'm like, these guys even have fun. I had to invite my man. Back up.
Yes.
So this one asked me, are we really going there? And the financial bit was tight, but we managed to go through. Those boys, by the way, big up those boys. They collected money. I was coming from Mukono. They collected money.
coming from Entebbe.
They collected money. They gave us the transport. At times, we were like, it's too much on them. You're just finishing their pocket money. So we went there. We trained them. The first tournament they played was in Karuma Sevens, where Chadondo brought, BG,
Yes.
Philip, like, for them they called it under 19 select. Something like the Chadondo select. But they brought cream de la cream, and these boys showed them rugby is played like this. So we were like, now going back to London College after the tournament.
They were runners up, but there was a trophy for runners up. So they give them this trophy. And now remember, France, we are from Namilango.
We are from
and you all know what runners up means.
Runners up.
So as we are there saying, what the hell, man?
Now you know these things, how
time
you
we
jump
don't
off the
come.
bus from like Busega there, blah 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 blah. Then it was late. Like you could not jump
you
off.
couldn't jump off.
So we traveled with them into the school.
And reached when morning prep
It's about.
was starting.
And-
Morning
and-
prep. Like around 5.
The kids were up.
We got a hero's welcome that I have never received in Namilango, even when we brought the African Games.
Even the principal was in the school. The
late
late
Muchimbi.
Muchimbi. La la la. The guy said they have a bull.
That's like they gave us a party.
They gave us a
Runners
bull.
up.
They're bull.
Sunday, no, nothing. You will.
Then we started. The guys will just say training. The rugby boys, they go. You train. You enter the school. We used the kahil in the school. Guys would run. Kids will come and watch.
Even the girls joined now. They wanted rugby.
The girls wanted to play rugby. Like, how do you start?
What I saw is Denise. Denise, yes. This is one
That's
of
how she got it.
to rugby when we came.
Okay.
And
Then
we
they
tried
went.
to get the culture
They
there.
went on and won a circuit at Smack.
The one is that smack. Those
Yes,
guys.
that one. I had to talk about it. I had
They
to talk
want
about
pants down, by the way.
Yeah.
hands down, because I told my London college boys, there's no way we are losing in Smack.
So is that your highest pinnacle of school?
Boss,
rugby?
I have never been appreciated as a coach
Hey,
like that time.
even Jesus was not appreciated in his own homeland. So
I'm saying
Ruben and
I
Liam
have,
will not appreciate
I
you.
have not stopped, but I have.
There
To
is
tell you the
joy.
truth.
There is only in the joy
Yeah.
when you don't believe you have gotten the result you want.
Yes.
That overwhelms you, and now you also start believing that you have achieved.
You have achieved.
When, for us, I'm telling you, we were sulking,
Yeah.
had given I think a hair dryer to all the boys,
Yeah.
and here we are. The whole school has
whole
got
school.
the first trophy in their history. They are just. For them, they are just overwhelmed that these are the right people. The Messiah, they started working on the Messiah, the chosen ones. I'm like, you people.
Even the rugby patron, by then, he was raised to a deputy.
I'm telling you,
You got to get a promotion.
you guys, things changed.
Things
You
change.
made the KPI that was not in his KPIs.
They're not taking it.
You cannot take a
do
season.
that for you.
If you cannot take a season because those guys performed in the sevens. I think at Creamland they were second
Yes.
still. So they were runners up the whole season.
The only thing that happened was, and they were our friends.
Yeah,
The
our
only thing is that the difference was, we've never coached them like we were coaching students. You know, they were the guys who came, called us,
Yeah.
come and help us. So we were friends. In fact, that guy say, Master taught me how to dance.
Hey.
Like they would really go the extra mile.
Guys, the
to make sure you fit in.
the master you are seeing right now.
He's not the master.
He's not the master I met. I used to chase master away. I'm like, you boss, you're not going to get the ball and start dancing here. It is not a dancing. It's not a dancing thing.
Yeah, he
The
could
guy
do
gets
much more than that.
he
He would dance.
get the ball and jump that side, jump this side. I'm like, boss, you're going to get the ball, give it to the other guys. Period. Stop the dancing.
Mula mula.
And
Mula mula. Santos.
then there is a guy. Where is Santos?
Ogwal.
Santos.
So there were, I don't remember.
Because if that guy I think continued,
He went to Rhinos and then I think
yeah, we would have had a beast.
But then we had to leave, and the after Sarah which we left were very funny. Back then, we had this beef with pirates. You people, you guys don't know. Pirates and Cobs had beef, really beef.
Yeah.
Now, as we are doing our thing, the team is catching up. We know.
You know, Pirates
we are
had
learning
been
out
in
from
London College before.
us.
So, but they had left these guys out. Like, I think we didn't have players. So when we went there, I did the sevens tournament.
And they have won.
They won. Then Sama Hamia comes in and says, no, this is a Pirates thing. Talk to the teacher. Then they were like, these guys can't coach you. These guys are Cobs. So we went away. Fortunately enough, our man left Namdiango.
Oh, okay.
At the same time,
So we had to go
Let's come
back.
back to that.
We just went and sat in and continued.
And the funniest bit was that the team that had just won circuits, which was unstoppable, the Nabiyango couldn't catch them. When we went there, now Nabiyango
was now beating them.
But so for me, I really miss that time. I think we are going to do great things in London College. But maybe it was luck.
Isn't it a bit? It seems so immature to me to be like as if you come in and you say, okay, we call dibs on this school. This is a Pirates school.
Now the challenge was not that. The challenge was Sam was going to be like let me call it supervisor. You get it, then for you do the donkey work. Then they take the
Then he
praise.
takes the credit.
You understand? Now for you, you look at it and
You can't do that.
And that's how you see. That's how all of them ended up going to.
Right.
No, it's
Actually,
looking
we
out
were
for the interest. Yeah.
We were even called traitors at one time because all of
The
them,
Cubs guys,
all of them.
I remember
We were
one
all
time.
traitors.
So you could credit Sam. He looked out. He saw the potential coming out, and he was like,
Yes,
"Never
now
kick these guys out."
Yes, he captured the moment.
He was a sharp man. Yes.
He captured the moment as always. He
Yes.
has been
And that's why
capturing.
I had to go, because he was
Yes,
a
he was,
Yeah, because during that time, I remember guys coming to me and saying, because these guys left London College, went to Pirates. Then a few guys like the Magoms also went to London College, and now I was in Namiriango coaching after coming from London College. Now the Cubs fraternity. Guys came to me, you hate Cubs. How can these guys go? This guy hates
I know how
Cubs.
Cubs guys does.
At that time,
Cubs guys.
I would not attend any Cubs game.
Yeah.
I was not attending. I was like, I have my Namiriango.
And the worst case is that once you hate him, synonymously, I also get the hate.
You get the hate.
Yes, that's
So
my
I was
association.
like, boys, you guys, look at this. The other guys were captured from London College. These are their friends. This is their year. They all decided to go the other side.
Yes.
And back then, the Cubs
We
guys,
were full, man. The squad was full.
there's no way you would
Would make a
replace.
squad from campus. When
So-
before campus, you wouldn't break the team. You guys were there.
Yeah.
So
You see,
Yeah,
box was full.
The reason
So these
Yes.
guys were convinced to go the other side.
I think I was still playing like 9-9 there still.
Yeah.
Man, I looked at the guys. You look at the like 5 guys. Who
I
are
was
like,
better than you.
like, bro, when am I going to get a chance to play?
Yeah.
Like, let me go somewhere else.
So that happened. Then they called me a traitor. What? I
So we
don't
got-
like.
we
I
got
don't.
traitors. I think we were traitors from London College. Then we went back to college.
So that is when I think I started the fight of like, let me take the kids to box, and then when they arrive there,
Whatever happens, happens.
so
Like me, I've done my part. It's up to
yeah,
you.
I think there is a lot. I even brought in box, and I was like, I have to be a player. I'm going to play with you guys.
Yeah. I saw that some seasons you played. So
That
now-
was, I played some sevens.
Anyway, for our record, we are on that team which has the highest scoring
Yeah,
match
the
in
over
the country,
101,
152.
the record. About 50.
53. You tried to break it even when I was not there, but you failed.
I was not on that team. Remember, we were in the stands still.
Another one was called for Mugulu live wire. I was in Mugulu, never training. You just threw me in the fight.
But
So-
that game was weird, you guys.
So all those players you all coached,
Yes.
who would you, if you had to give a ranking, 10 to number 1, 5 to number 1, 3 to number 1, who have been your best products? Okay, let's simplify it.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you positions, and then you tell us which guys you have done really, really well from. Let's say center.
The center. Let's see the center. Because I did not train Ian as a center, but I advised him to go to the center when I realized Oscar Kaliango was becoming a Fiat. All that shit.
Hey, it's coming gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I asked Ian to go and fit in there. I think Oscar was still injured by that time, and Cobbs had no 13,
Yeah.
and Ian was there. So I pushed Ian to fill up the gap. For the centers, I think it's Ian. The guys I have coached.
Let me see. Probably in 14 years, looking back to 14 years is not easy.
Yeah.
Right now I'm starting to realize why Museveni knows so many things.
Yes.
I have little memory.
Yeah.
Of course, Ian will come up because, of course, he has impressed. Massa has held his own at center, though I did not expect him to. But for me, the best center, but he has not lived up to his billing, would be Mugume Andrew.
Oh, the Cubs guy.
Because he was going to be, of course, lifestyle habits, as you say. He was going to be a
Yeah.
beast, but then I really wanted to see him at a bigger stage. I think he had started developing the talents of a center that we've lacked in a while. 12 positions specifically for 12. Because these are the numbers we've managed, to fluke in people. But I thought Mogume Andrew would be the guy, but of course, we can't predict the future.
We are yet to return.
Yeah, we can't predict the future. But hopefully, if he comes back, you could see what I saw.
What about in the forwards?
In the forwards, I knew Kakula would be a star. That one I even mentioned in the article. Kakula played as a starting prop for the Anchors when he was in senior 2.
What?
Yes.
Then he broke his jaw.
Hey.
I remember talking to him. He broke his jaw, and then they had surgery to repair his jaw.
On the parents' bill.
No, now Cobbs contributed.
Cobbs contributed.
And then Nakoba contributed also to the bill. So I remember one time engaging him, and he's like, by the way, just because Cobbs paid my jaw, I chose Cobbs over Pirates.
Wow.
And I'm like, what? Like,
Yes,
Cobbs never did buy them thinking he was going to join them.
Yeah.
They just did it, we come and say, "Man, get this player, let's, And they gave us like 1 million, then the Obis bought about 5. But he told me categorically that he joined Cobbs because they helped him with his job. Now, for me, his attitude from way back, he's now quite an experienced prop, just that people are seeing him for the first time.
Yeah.
But he has been playing that position since S2 in a competitive manner. He even attacks me sometimes saying I made him miss trophies at under 15 level because I just threw him in the deep end. But for me, once I see talent, I do take it with both hands. When this Joko Jude, when he was still 8th man in school, I told him you were supposed to be a hooker. And he can tell you, if you ask him now, I told him you should be a hooker. I am using you as an 8th man because I have nothing to do. I have no 8th man. But the truth, your number, your physique, if you want to go and play,
actually, he has the physique.
You have to be a number.
I think it's
he has the physique, the pace, and whatever.
I honestly had with him because during lockdown, somehow there was a way we find ourselves playing touch at Kings Park. But I told him, you're playing flank, but why don't you fix in that number 2 position? You really look like you have the build for it. So it's also, when I hear him say that, I just remember the conversation I had with him.
So the transition. Now later on when he started transitioning, he even came and told me, yes, you told me. And I never told it to him now. I told him like back then when he was still starting, I told him, boss, the way you look, the power, the things you're doing would serve you as a hooker. So I am waiting now that he's perfecting his skill.
Actually, this is his first season. His first season where he's really being a hooker. Yeah.
And he has not done bad for a rookie. If we call him a rookie hooker. So it can only get better in the paper. So for the forwards, I know Joko was a hooker. Given time and skill, he will do definitely. I know you're asking me if there are any hookers. I think Joko, he's built for it. He's energetic. He just needs to get the techniques and the silent features. And then Chishato was, if he was Ugandan, I don't know.
Because Ugandan would have been starting number 12.
I think everyone knows he was special.
Yeah, he was the next Fredo, but a more skilled Fredo.
He was somebody who could do everything. There are games he won us by drop kicks.
I remember there's a game I watched against at Aviliago. The guy kicked all the points.
He's kicking from the center.
Kick from the center, yes.
I remember when you train with us at that time in the school, you see the guy trying to attempt kicks, drop kicks. I'm like, man, what's wrong with this guy? What's wrong with this guy? Be serious. Go and push it.
What my favorite is are the two. On Tishato, we are still friends up to now. On Tishato, my best memories are two. One, in S1, first day, he came to the pitch. First day. I want to play rugby.
You look at the guy.
He's fast, but the first day, people have just come, they still how your kids are around in college. I want to play rugby. So I was like, okay.
He was fully kitted.
The second memory I have about him, I think we were playing the final. And our player, this is with Kelekele the ref, our player does something cynical and they're going to send him off. And him,
Oh yes,
kneels down.
Very
Again,
yeah,
Remember,
was like,
the guy is hard.
you cannot do this with us.
Have mercy. And he looked down. Kele looked at his proper puppy eyes. I don't know what he did. And Kele took back the car.
I remember
And they
that.
caught it on camera. And I'm
It was 2012.
I was like,
Yeah,
if you
2012.
can do that to
Yes.
save your team, that's the level of humility I don't think I have. But
Yeah.
he knelt in his big prime and
You look for that
okay,
picture.
look at it. It was
I
so
remember.
nice.
I remember that moment. I remember.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was for me. Those are the true memories I get. Everyone remembers his kicking and winning us the game in the last minute.
Man, I remember he banged me a stool in training.
Yeah, so
I should have witnessed him, but it's all right.
Over suffered.
For the locks were many, but lifestyle habits took them off the road of running. They were going to really, locks would have been many, but lifestyle took them off. But generally for me, I think everyone we've coached along the way, surprisingly, we've been taking our stars. For us, we don't measure our success in trophies as people do. We realize we have a player we've coached in every facet of rugby and every region. When you go to Arua, there's the captain.
You have the guy who was coaching the ladies team from Arua recently. Yes,
They
they
came
finished
from
the yes.
Was our student.
Yeah,
When
that
you go
one.
to Kabale, you'll find someone who've coached. When you go to Elgon Halls, wherever you
To
go,
Mbale, Soroti,
Walukuba,
Moroto,
you'll find
Walakira has.
we have coached somebody who is adding value to the team. Maybe as a TM, a coach, a player, a Fat Cats podcast. So, so for us, that's
I think we almost have players in all the clubs.
Yes, I think we're trying to do a survey, and I think we're trying to say if we don't have it,
Let me
must
see,
be
Heathens,
I think
Heathens, no?
Heathens, no.
Buffaloes.
Buffaloes, they was, but I don't know if it was in Bisons or Buffalo. That's the challenge.
But in the junior sides,
Not even the Huchires and the who. The props. I got them in box. So yeah, so when you look around, when we scan,
yeah,
we see
in hippos there's no one, but the rest we make up part of the Impis team.
Cobb's team almost. I remember there was a time I had to draw for him and say, Cobb's, I'm only looking like 4 people, and then the rest of the team would be coached by me.
Well, the backs, the guy have coached and I think he has managed to get there is Spencer.
And that's
Spencer
as well.
Yeah.
so that's
Just-
how we
just-
do
Guys
that.
are basically the architects of schools rugby.
Just
what we
that
posted
the
that
structure of Spencer cannot take him very far,
Yes,
but
but,
he's a guy I look at. Then there is Otai.
Yes.
There's Otai. I wish God had given us height. Seriously, that guy
Nobody knows how to do
for his size, a guy could jump for the ball at fullback position, and you're like, yeah.
We were having a conversation with second, and I scored a try at
Yes.
that smack. So you was like, man, how are you? They are playing with Namiliango, and this guy, small, short man starts running. Before we know it, the guy is in the 5. Before we know it, he's scoring. And all of us are like, who is this guy, small guy? And then I realized later that it's a tie.
That's the tie.
Up to now, I really want to see
And I really put up my hands when he was called into the 7th camp. And my first advice to him was like, go put on weight.
Go put on weight.
Go put on
They will
weight.
attack him at the small medium.
I knew the only thing that would tell them that this guy has to stay was weight, because all the other things he can do. He can tackle. He can all those things.
Sometimes we're just having you, so don't get annoyed. But also there are people who drop off, and your heart sinks. Like you just know that.
Who dropped off and your heart sank?
Black Jesus.
Black Jesus. Who is Black Jesus? Cox.
Yeah,
It's called Opio.
He knows him from Petros.
Opio Emmanuel.
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel?
It was the Petros days. When he scored
Then
that
there's one
That
who
one,
was
Mahasa.
going.
There is
Christopher
Sozi.
Christopher Mboa.
Sonny from
Sonny.
Smart,
Yeah.
who had these battles with Chona.
Yes.
I really wanted to see them to present
continue
them.
the thing.
It was a really good thing. Then Boa, of course.
Boa. I really.
Boa was going to really dominate.
Yeah.
Life took him abroad and life took him into business. So I think he was going to dominate. Then there is Kalihira Ryan. This one's a norms, you know. But Kalihira is too small a person to, I think, dominate at club. And you know, we don't know how to use people who are small. But
and our training does not like put them back. Like they say, this guy's size now is supposed to be in this position. Then it starts adjusting the guy to be in that position.
They want to use you as the number 8 when you're tiny. So
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, Dexter, who was the shortest, was the 8th man.
Yeah.
Oliver, who was the tallest, was the number 9. So what was wrong with this guy?
No, but because we all know Dexter could carry.
Yes,
and
yeah, he could carry, yes.
And that Oliver would be the Yankee.
Yes.
But then even in you, I even wonder how were you playing alongside Dexter with his vision?
It was perfect until it would rain. I
You're
remember we
talking-
had a game
you're
in
talking
London
about-
College
you're talking
and he
about
wasn't
rain.
seeing the ball.
You're talking about rain, but even under the sun.
Under the sun he was okay.
I asked,
When it rained, when it would
I
rain.
asked him a question sometime. Was you guys were playing, I think, sevens?
Yes.
When I was around. When I saw him put the hands there and takes them away.
Dexter
I'm like,
the ball.
it was a bad passing.
Eh.
Like the bird was flying over.
And you're like,
Then
what's
this guy puts the hands, like I seeing shadows. I'm like, so you expect the ball to come in a shadow form?
You know,
So
when
you
see-
grab
when
the
see his
shadow.
lenses into his glasses. They were very, very sensitive. So like as a person who had normal eyesight, when you check into it, your eyesight will get distorted. That's how strong his lens was. So
I was wondering how does this guy see the ball? Like the line is moving at a faster rate. And like
he played with us in the 2008 final. He came on.
he's only passed the ball to Chimono.
Got concussed.
Eh.
And now, let me give this idea. In 2008, we play, we get to the final. We have beaten Bodo. Of course, I scored the winning try.
it's okay.
I'm sure we finish them off, but I'm the one who brought us. Now, when we're in this final, we are playing, smart. The smart go games are tight.
They're tight, yeah.
Of course, you're trying your best, but you can't win. So I give away penalty. These penalties where you direct roll away. But you're slowing down the game. He was in front of the post. And Saba goes to the referee. It was Ramsey. Says, who is the number who has not rolled away? They tell him number 4. So I walked up to me and he said, you are the one who has sold us. If that kick enters, you are the one who has sold us. I stood in front of that kicker. I prayed. I recited all the novenas. I promised God everything. If the kick went out. The kick went out, you guys. The kick went out.
Yes.
Now, I told Saba, any mistake you do, I'm just going to be like a police officer. Remember tackling him. You miss a tackle, I'm just starting. You have missed a tackle.
Yeah.
So, now, as the game goes into the dying minutes, we are desperate. We can no longer be at loggerheads. Saba calls the team sort of meeting.
Tell us.
You see, our year was very. We knew how to use our resources well.
That's the excuse you're going to use.
These guys were politicians. Even they still do it up to now.
The dream team. And gets Kimono and says, because I remember, as I was the captain, Raga was the vice, I was the pack leader, and now Kimono was like the backline command. So he calls like top command, but he's going to give the instruction to the kid on the block. Kimono is the kid in the group. Saba turns and says, Kimono, save us.
Kimono score a try.
Save us. So all of us are like, man, Kimono, help, bro. Help us, you don't know what to do. So, I don't know how God does his things. As we play, people went, I remember we made the line out, we carried, we were doing sort of a mall. It was like a 4-man mall, the ball is walking. The guy, Dexter releases the ball to Kimono. Kimono broke the line and ran for his life. You remember I used to have those nice gloves there, which were
those
and dive.
I
I remember it like yesterday. And he scored with his dive, and we won. And the only regret as a coach and a player who has played with him, I only regret that he never won a schools league, because I think the 2008 league belongs to you, Chimono. You really did everything for us to win.
Yes.
And for you to go down in history like you don't have. Really thank you for your time, but
that's what you are saying. You guys know how to use people. You know how to use
resources.
These are politicians, real politicians.
And but you see, Walakira told us when I was saying he was handing over to us, this is the word that the guy used when he said that we shall come back here on Namiriango Day.
Yes.
And Anguyo, they called the captain of the year. Anguyo,
where's the trophy?
But Rosa, you will point our trophy there. Walakira, our trophy there. Then they say, Asaba. Where do you point?
Where do you point?
All of us, you shall point. Now, even if Chimono, when they ask you,
Chimono comes first before Chimono.
They are deleted from our archives. So for Chimono,
he has to point to 2008.
2009, I think.
2009, that's
2011.
That's 2009.
No, you're not like he does.
He is.
Yeah, the Lakidas and the Kenos. Yes, were deleted in the archives.
Those tournaments never happened.
Everybody keeps going over the same year.
No?
There's that one. Yes, there's that one also that disappeared somewhere there.
Then
they lost mark in the same. Yes.
So for them, in fact, when you hear people talking about like,
those 2 years, they say that.
And then it is remembered that the A6s never played. Remember, that's what they remember. But they remember that it was only Lakida, I think, Waboku, like that names about like that the A6s never played. So
they had the Bokuzia had they had like two guys playing.
That two team. Guys and the rest were the
shadows.
And then next year is when the shadows managed to win. Now you bring up a very critical thing about now player development, and this is where I want us to have a discussion before see as it's getting dark. Player development. We always want, even us who are fans, want to deal with finished products. We don't want to go through the hard work of building this talent. And then also, as you guys who build at the source, you see how the players are being used up, and you don't have some satisfaction, no peace of mind that the players are being used to their optimum capacity. As coaches of high school, how do you factor that in when you're having your discussions or your trainings with these players?
Personally, when it comes to player development, I don't think we have player development in Uganda.
Okay.
Yeah. Why? Whenever you're playing rugby, you're preparing a team for rugby, everyone expects you to win. And you prepare these teams for a very short period of time. Let me give you a scenario. School opens in February,
Yeah, February 1st.
Every year. Yeah. And they expect you to play the first game after 2 weeks. Okay? When school has opened. Now, school opens when you have, 4 classes?
Beginning of term.
BOT.
Yeah, you first leave the BOT and everything. There are no candidates.
There's S6 and S4.
There's no S1.
No S5.
No S5.
Yes.
So you technically have 2 teams. The senior twos.
I've not yet mastered this one.
They were in S1 last year. All they know is catch the ball, throw it to the other guy. Not even pass, throw it to the other guy. As long as it doesn't go forward. The tackling skill, I don't think it's there. Now, the senior twos that were there are in senior 3. Those ones have learned a few things here and there. Now you have the ones that were in senior 3 are in senior 4. You have to choose players from there. Then you have the senior 6s. So you have to fuse a team from there within 3 weeks, which is the first week is eaten up by BOT. And there is no school that is going to give you the time.
Yeah.
The time when they have their academic program. So you find that you have to do a lot of work in those 2 weeks to prepare a team that everyone expects to win. That is why you see we start having good rugby in schools league towards the end. Towards the end.
They are
because now,
picking.
yes, they have picked up. And there are very few games. Because this tournament is finished like in 2 months, you're done. And you expect to have these kids to play the nationals at the end of that. Then when you come back, you'll find that most of the kids have dropped off. You guys are saying we are going to read the books. You have no control over that. Then you see,
is for sevens.
second term is for sevens.
So what happens to the 15?
And after the sevens, you're supposed to go for East African Games, which is 15.
It is 15th.
You understand? So we have now to come down and draw programs if you're to develop. But now that is, to me, I don't know what other coaches are doing, or you have to draw a program that you develop a kid. Then after you release the kid, like let me say the senior fours, when they go to other schools, do the coaches do the same?
Maybe Emwalk, from what I can say, what development is here is winning. What we looked at, and for us that's why the dynamic had to change, because 2 weeks someone expects a miracle. As I've told you now, for example, this season, majority of your players have not been promoted. They have not, have not met. Some have been chased by this thing. You have
now you have
beginners.
You have beginners.
Because for us, we do systems. When we went to Ambrose for this whole time, we have systems. Under 15, under 17, under 19. So we know. By the time you're in under 17, we already know that one we shall read him, that one is going to be our cover here. Now the cover was chased. So now when the cover is chased,
and the cover is not just from the top, but all grades. Like the one who is going to fill in there goes away. Now even the one they were going is also away. So you have to get another.
The ones you have been training to replace, have all gone. Now you have to mark your magic. Namiliango has to play a certain kind of rugby, which is expected. However, you don't have the players, and you're not about to lament because Ruben is not going to give you the chance. People are already shouting, Payo out. So now what do? You start to look in the school. So, but can't I do when beat people come? You don't pass, you just beat people.
And now it is very hard because of the age grade rules and regulations. Why you're 16 years, you can't play under 20. Yet your beater is one who is young.
Yeah, that's right. Your beater was 60. He was the guy, they go 2 guys.
Yes.
And he's below. Yet he's the guy, like if he stands there.
Even if you are 21, the guy smashes you.
First go back at under 16 and so now, because of that, you don't teach Ruben how to jump. You don't teach Payo how to jump properly. Because all thing you're doing is, my best jumper is Walakira. He can jump at 2. We can win the ball. We shall win the game.
So we have to jump
Payo,
at 2.
Don't learn how to jump because that was wasting our time. What we need to do is to fix a winning team. So most teams assemble. They don't coach. And we also suffered that at the beginning. We used to assemble. You assemble the best. Look around. This one will help me. For you not, you go away. Now, we've learned that you just have to coach. Teach them the skills. Even if he doesn't know, he has come from a school. This is the first time he's seeing the rugby ball. And you have to introduce, hold it like this, grip it like this. And eventually, when he starts speaking, you will see the fruits of what you're teaching. Now, that's why you say there was a time we had national team players being taught how to hook, how to throw, how to scrimmage, and this is national team. And that becomes...
Yes, they have been playing for their clubs.
I've been telling Cobs for the past 3 years before Makalama came, your players are not coached. I have seen it with Heathens. Now I'm seeing it with the Pirates as well.
They coach their players.
You coach, then you will see it executed on Saturday. When you see Pirates tries, they are executed and they train this on Monday. they executed this line out. But then there are teams you see as if,
Give the ball to
you remember, we did this move, I think, when we were in S2. You get it?
Yeah.
Like, you don't see the real impact of that training as a collective unit. When they are defending, one defender stands out, but you don't see the team defense. Yes, this guy will bang, turn over the ball, then they score. But when you see the collective of the team, you see, this one, then you see the player improvement. This one is improving over time. These ones keep declining. This one keep improving. That's why you see we can have very many players playing number 2 who are hookers, but then we say we don't have hookers in the country. You see? But then you come and say, we don't have center. Yet every team has a center. Even subs. But we don't see because nobody is curing what you lack. What are the centers that you have lacking? You get, if you have like Maso or Chimono can't pass to the left, why don't you take time to say Chimono, chuck it to the left or chuck it to the right? Why don't you say now for you, let us take it to the gym, get the energy, let's build you up properly so that you tackle this. But what will we do? We shall say, Ruben Niha, what shall we do? What shall we do? So 3 years, Ruben doesn't improve, they drop you. You go. Then we start again in the Payo project, hoping that Payo has the skill, to hold it. We need to start coaching our players.
Even if we go to the national team level, I think they call them scouts.
Yeah.
The guys who move around to see who to select, who to call into camp.
Talent development officer, something like that.
Yes. These guys are good with their papers. They just write names.
Yeah.
But you write the name of the guy we want to put on the national team. That guy has a coach in his club. You know the bits of the guy that he needs that you would use in the national team. Why don't you simply maybe note down or call his coach and say, I want to select this guy for the national team. Would you coach him or train him in these aspects that you want? That does not happen. Then they come, they say, we have called guys from Warriors, then you just flash them out.
Yeah.
So it looks like you call the guys to make the numbers, but you have your selected few that you will put on the what? On the team. These guys need to come down, tell the coaches, we need so and so, he has his skills we shall need, top up with this. And if the coaches don't do that, then there's something else wrong. So even that also comes to the development. You have developed players. Have you developed the coaches?
Then region. You look at our region. Who is feeding your national team? Who makes up the core of your team? Runners in our country come from specific districts. The one you know that these ones when they start running, you will fail to catch them. And we all know it.
The front row.
Yes, we could manage, we could try, but there are those who are naturally gifted.
Yeah.
When they start running, all of us say, the front row, the guys who are big, we all know where they're coming from. Yes, there are some tribes which are not gifted by height, but they can give you square mouths, to chunk the ball out.
Yes.
There are people who are gifted with the height that if we need, but look at our sizes at the national team.
Yeah.
You understand? Look at our stars. Yes, you need to look at the bigger picture, no winning. Because when I'm telling you, I can see a number of teams here and I'm like, I wish we could just partner with Kenya and you say, number 1 Uganda, play number 1 Kenya. Number 2 Uganda, play number 2 Kenya. Number 3 Uganda, play number 3 Kenya. And we see where we fall. And you will see that the guy who was your best at doing something can be the problem when you find a team which is heavy. For example, do you know that you can find a pack which is like 1,000 kilos? And the first task as a coach is just to look for weight. Not talent, you're just looking at you are 60, you first weight. Because you just can see that if you put 60, you quit. So you need also to know that as we develop this talent, we need to go up and beyond the central region, this small league, and look, we need to go deep into, the northern regions. Go to West Nile. Those are seasoned people who I know are hard and courageous. They fight till, they can fight no more. And you embed them, teach them these skills, and they will become a solid foundation. Right now, the current players we have, they are doing it until Jobo calls.
When your cohort had really many guys who could. You had Okelo, to call, Abiri Shadrach, or what?
We gave you DD.
Did you were happy? We want more. Where are you guys? We always have those spaces where Timothy always complains about how there are 10 teams in the league and they all have hookers, but we still have a hooking problem.
Yes.
We have 10 inside centers, but we still have an inside center problem. What shall we do?
So has the union come up and said we need guys who have this that hooking position?
Get Alex.
You did receive the email.
No, get Alex.
Yes.
Fundraise money, development money. Get
The money is there. It's coming from our drug.
Send him Mongas this week. Train the hooker.
Yeah.
Move for more because he's the best.
Yes.
He's the legend. He's the African champion.
It's the one they call when they are not. You sort out that that department.
Go to Impis. Can you go to Hippos? Can you go to Gulu Falcons?
Yes.
Make sure he goes.
And by the way, these positions, some of these positions we look at the clubs around the central. We might find Yoka is in Bali somewhere there. He just needs a little paddle beating. And it's good to go.
Some teams are strong because they get the best help or training, and then other teams don't get the best training, and then they don't put up a good show. For example, I'll give Mongas. If Mongas go to a forward coach,
Problems.
if Mongas got someone to teach them the right scrummaging techniques, ball techniques, forwards. And I'm not saying the current coach is not doing his bit, but I'm saying I don't think they have a specialist.
Yes.
Like if they had someone there 24/7, only watching you as a forward, every team would suffer with the pack size of.
And they have money, so they can afford it.
You get it? But now you'll find Mongas being tortured by Buffalo. Why? Because Buffalo's maybe know the technique of how you can angle, how you can shoot. When these ones are big,
There's also
they squeeze them. Everyone, whenever you'd always go to play Mongas, you'd be like,
how are we coming out from this?
The house of pain. Yes.
Once it was house of pain, we had Adigas.
Yes.
You see, so Adigas is laying down the law, front row wise.
Yes.
Then comes me, who was the law.
Lock.
So we are setting the platform, but we look, man, if you don't go below this, we need to keep here.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to deep, if at any one point Adigas is going to drop his head, I am there to hold him accountable. If I'm dropping Olwenyi, behind me
yes.
to say, push. If Olwenyi is trying to drop in Suga is the 9-10 Olwenyi. Even if those guys don't push, you must carry the ball and get the same meters. Now, when you look at the team now, when they are going through their recovery processes, you find like all of them are like on the same level. So they need somebody who is full time coming to say, you know what, Prop, at least we may lose the game, but all the scrums are ours. If you look at South Africa, that's how they have their benchmark. Yes, you may do some funny things, but when it comes to scrum downs, if we lose one, we've lost the game. Even if they're winning by 100, that's their benchmark. Because they know when it comes to scrummaging, you must field them thoroughly. So now, if teams just got a little help, we would get the hooker we need. If we have the best centers, where are the centers veterans? Where are they? Call them and say, you know what?
Recently.
Call him and say, Kawazi, can we move you around? And you tell people what you saw and teach them. So that we solve this. Otherwise, we are going to lament every single time.
Right now, I get DMs of people telling me, when are we doing the scrum half camp? When are we doing the fullbacks camp? When are we doing, I also hey, seriously, we need such things.
Yeah.
We need such things. Because I was telling people, whoever is playing scrum half in the whole league, there are very few people who are playing as scrum halves in the league. People are just passing the ball.
That's why old Gama comes on.
Comes people down here.
Still got it.
He knows the techniques. He has the notes.
And everyone is like, I'm playing rugby.
He's short.
After they get a bottle of I don't know, a bottle of beer.
So,
rugby is finished.
Needs to be a continuous
development. Yeah, I would like, let me use this opportunity. I would like to urge the union
Yeah.
to please pass on the development plan for maybe a year or 5 years. Maybe it might involve the coaches down this side, everything. But they should not develop only the players. We need to develop everyone.
The coaches,
The physios,
the
all those guys.
you know,
Because now we
statisticians.
have schools rugby. We don't know if it's the doctor, physio. We're supposed to handle certain cases.
The nurse.
The nurse,
nurse,
yes. Where you find me, this one. We went for nationals last year in Gulu, and the guy got a hit on the head, and then someone just came and was tilting the head like that, like, hey,
Yes.
this is dangerous. I'm like, don't move the head.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I'm like, no. This is not how we assess such things.
Yeah.
And this is a big tournament.
Exactly.
It's nationals. And these are the kids. Just because the kid was from another school that we were playing against, they thought I was doing it in bad faith. I wanted their kid to get off. But these are the guys I'm going to cheer when they are playing for Uganda. You understand? So we need, yes, you might do it around here, but what is happening outside there? So we need to develop each and everyone in the sport. The technical bit of it. Yes, they do camps. I know there are courses that happen at Chadondo, but I think someone just goes there to get a certificate. They are not really into the game.
You put it on your Twitter bio, level 1.
We have so many level 1 coaches, even refs, very many. We have even guys who have all TM, level 1 7s, level 1 15s, physio, SNC, like they have everything, first aid, each and everything, but none is being put in.
Ruben, I would have done level 1. My problem is just Sunday morning. It's the schools league. I may not make it on time.
Yeah.
So Ruben, take us away from here.
Well, before ideally we close, I had a couple of questions I wanted to ask the two gentlemen to see. You've coached together, you're good friends, but we want to test.
Oh, how sure are you we are friends?
Also, surely you have to be friends. I don't think you can go through the journey of London College to Namiliango without being friends.
We just keep ourselves balanced. We keep each other in check. So,
Emwalk, do you know Payo's favorite number or his in quotes lucky number?
4.
The number is 2.
My number while playing was number 4.
Yes.
He knows it because he knows that's the shirt number I wear. But 2 is my lucky number. Because I'm a twin and I grew up in a family of twins. Like 2, even when I was in the stomach, we were 2 before. 2 is my lucky number, but I love 4 because I played in 4. I'm a unique player. I only played one number. I played number 4. I didn't even play lock. I played number 4 because once you go into the details, number 4 and 5 are different, but people don't know what it means. So for me, I was playing strictly number 4. So that one is what he knows, my shirt number.
So, what is Walakira's favorite drink after a victory?
When you're in Seta.
When you're in Seta, that one is very easy. He always likes his Agnes.
My Agnes has to be ice cold.
And it must be ice cold.
Ice cold.
So for him, ice cold Guinness all the time.
That has made us change bars. Once your fridge is not functioning, no more. Yeah.
So, between the two of you, what would you see when you're looking at the other and say that this is his greatest strength as a coach and as a human being? I think I'll start with you referring to him.
This man can really change your life. He can really change your life. I remember I am not good at public speaking, but he talked to the boys sometime, and I was like, I have to pick a few notes from here. The next meeting we had, I put the things there, and I was like, hey, these things are easy. They're supposed to be like this. So he can point you in the right direction. He can encourage you. He can advise you. Yeah, I think I have benefited from that. So many times.
Emwalk is erratic. His strongest nature. You don't know what you're going to get from him at any particular time. So, as you're trying to be the calm one, you need to know, anticipate. So he always keeps you like on your toes. Because today he can come and decide to be very serious. Very serious. He's going to answer yes, no, and he's not going to stop the team. Like he's going to send non-verbal cues of his anger. Now you have to pick it quickly so that you're the good guy, saying one handed man, don't disturb the other guy, is annoying. And then just seconds later he becomes the chatty one. So now you have to know that now you have to be the one quiet, Then he becomes the good guy. Now remember, in this coaching game, both can't be good guys. One has to be good cop, one has to be bad cop. Because when the balls are dropped and this good guy is having fun, for him he just says, this is coach. So you have to come in and say, guys, no. So for him, what I like about him, he's erratic. And in his erratic nature, he keeps you honest and on your toes. So you keep thinking. Because anytime someone erratic makes a decision, he has actually thought through it. Just that for us, who are slow, calm and collected people, think they have known. Because I remember, I can tell you like recently, when we were in the Nationals, he goes on the walkie-talkie and just starts shouting, now, Bonaventure was like a sub, number 9 on the bench. So, of course, he has just told me, don't take off the 9 who's on the pitch. So now I'm starting to look at what I'm going to do, how am I going to make the change. Then he goes on the walkie-talkie and says, I need Bonaventure on the pitch. I need Bonaventure on the pitch. And I'm like, you just said don't take off the number 9. For who? So now I answer, for who? I need Bonaventure on the pitch. So I switch off. He calls now the assistant who was holding water. I need Bonaventure on the pitch. So I look around. So now imagine that he has now just said, Payo, look around for who is going to go off and put Bonaventure. So now I look around and say, you have Bonaventure on. And then he's like, that's the sub I want.
But still on that thing, we had already discussed. The number 9 is not getting off the pitch. So when I say this one and stays on the pitch, but this one goes to number 9. So he knew that I was talking about the fly-off. The fly-off had to leave the pitch. Just that the fly-off was our kicker. But at that time, we never needed the kick. We needed to control the game.
So that's what I can tell you. I like him because he's erratic. Like he really pushes. When you see him under pressure, because remember it goes through all of us. That's why I said that being on that bench, I said even in the article, everyone here assumes they can be a coach.
Yes.
Until you sat in that chair and you're given the power. I can hear all the fans, the chants, the shouting. Whoa, I'm telling you, I used to be you. I used to abuse the coaches. I used to think they don't know. But trust me, the coaches you see there make decisions on the spot. Tactical injury, what substitution, sin bin. You have to play this game in your mind. That is, as you shout, just know that the coach is things that are going through his mind are more than what you see. He has been with these players every single day. He knows who is fit, who is unfit, whose shoulder is weak. He knows who was on injection, whose injection is again up seeing him maybe in 10 minutes time. He has to go off. Kume is the man of the match at the time. So you don't have all those details. So when they make the sub, you start, is he stupid? How can you take off Ruben? He was our guy. You get jet for you. Ruben has even come and said, man, tell him my time is over. So you need to know to anticipate. We have become more, now for us, we have become more, psychologists. Because some people's problems, by the way they perform on the pitch, comes from issues they are dealing with in their life. So for you can come expecting who to score twice, yet he has lost somebody. And he's sad. He has come not to let down the team, but his mind is not there. Me, I give this story a lot because I know the guys I talk about won't take offense, or if they take offense, I'll buy them a shot and they cool down. Aredo was Mr. Safe Hands.
Yes.
And I played with Aredo. Aredo comes on this Saturday match, I don't remember what game we're playing, knocks on twice in a space. I think they were his first knock-ons. I think because I coached him at school, I had played with him, he had never knocked on. Twice in a row. Knocked on, we came, we cleaned up, they kicked back, he knocked on. This is so uncharacteristic of Joseph Aredo. So, everybody, back then it was just abuse the guy. Don't find out. So, everybody bashes, what is this? How you cost your husband twice, man? This year. So, I eventually go and have a chat with Aredo. Aredo, what's happening? You never know what's going on. The man is like, my friend, I think one neighbor or his girlfriend, I don't remember exactly who, or mom or what, is in ICU. And I said, then I've just left the hospital to come and play. But whenever I'm behind here, alone, I start seeing, what? Yes. So by the time the ball comes, I'm absent-minded. Yes. So I just wake up like a trap. I'm like, okay. So what you do? So I said to him, so what you do? You just keep calling my name. Right? I just keep talking to people so that you don't get absent-minded. We finished the game. He never knocked on again. Then he came and said, Payo, thank you. Everybody abused me, but it was not helping me come out of for you saw and talk to me. So as much as we call people go through a lot on that pitch psychologically, even before the game. So for me, I believe that even as you coach, you need to go beyond the physical. Somebody can be physically fit, give you all the tackles, but on that day, his mind is off. Can go to Ugandan problems and the ship sinks.
Wow.
But you guys can hear me. I don't think I can hear myself in these things.
Trust me, it's very clear.
The time has reached.
Which time? My
Full
time.
moon.
There is no food.
It's been a very, very interesting conversation. And it's about that time. With tomorrow being a public holiday, there is a lot that can happen between now and a couple of hours later. So, but it's always good to listen to coaches. Usually when people are talking about coaches, everyone thinks about the coaches at the top, the coaches in the Rugby Premiership, the coaches with the national team. But there are always those people doing a lot of the work at the back. These two gentlemen, the likes of Helen Buteme, and many players, many people within their journeys and their careers really attribute a lot of their development to these individuals, I should say. And there's a lot that still needs to be done in Uganda. There's a lot that still needs to be fine-tuned when it comes to the grassroots, when it comes to development, when it comes to the whole conveyor belt, the chain of how players are developed from the first time they touch a rugby ball up to the point of when they are donning that national team jersey. But how are we as stakeholders of the game also putting ourselves in position to support the different structures and to even create these structures to make sure that everything when it comes to players, from welfare to the way they perform, the skill sets, is properly set. I think that's something that we can ponder on as we put our foot forward in trying to really contribute to this game. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our edition of the Fat Cats Rugby Podcast. See you next week. Thanks for listening in. Share with us your thoughts from today's episode, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.